Hey,
Randy, what's up?
How you doing, man?
Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. Doing all right?
Yeah, doing well.
Good. Hey guys, I'm here with Emmett Stovall, owner of Marine Warehouse, and today we're going fishing. I'm picking a boat up from Marine Warehouse and we're going to go fishing on the Cape Fear River and catch some stripers and some redfish. Ed, how you doing?
Hey, Rennie, how are you, man? Good to see you.
This is Ed Pickford. He's the salesperson you'd see if you were coming to buy a boat from Marine Warehouse.
We are a full-line Carolina Skiff dealer. We also sell their Sea Chaser line, so I can get you any of the Carolina Skiff products you want, anything from their smallest boat to their largest boat, which is their 24 Ultra Elite. In the Sea Chaser line, it starts out with their flat series and a 16-foot and goes all the way up to a 27-foot HFC, which would be an offshore model. So we generally keep a good selection of boats here on stock in hand. If we do have to order, of course, it does take us a little bit to get them here, but 4 to 6 weeks is an overall average of ordering a new boat in for a custom rig for a customer. We also do custom rigging here in-house, and we offer passenger vessels. So they're a certified, inspected passenger vessel for 18 passengers, used commonly in ferry boats. That's becoming a big part of our business at this point. And we also do custom skiffs for duck hunters, custom skiffs for fishermen. In fact, the boat that we're going to look at today is a custom boat that we've used here at Marine Warehouse as a demo model for duck hunting and inshore fishing. And it's one of the 198 DLX tunnel hulls. And that boat is completely customized for duck hunting and for basically inshore fishing, skinny water fishing.
Awesome. Well, why don't we go out and take a look at that boat and let's get fishing, man. I'm ready. The weather's nice. The sun's getting overhead. I'm ready to go fishing. So let's go take a look at that boat.
Will do.
All right. Man, I appreciate you getting the boat set up for me, and it's set up just like I like for inshore fishing. And I'm ready to run this thing in some shallow water. We might get into some shallow areas today at low tide, so I want to test that tunnel hole out, see what it'll do. Yeah. Guys, it's been great hanging out with Ed and Emmett at Marine Warehouse, but now I'm ready to go catch some fish. Thank you for your help, Ed.
Ready?
And hopefully we have a successful day today.
Hopefully. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys. We've come up here to Marine Warehouse. We've met with Emmett and Ed. We've told you guys about the boat we're going to be on today, and now it's my turn to go out and play with it and go fishing. So I'm ready to go catch some fish. We're heading downtown, we're going fishing, and hopefully you're going to see some good footage today. Let's go do this thing. All right, guys, we're here on the Cape Fear River, and today we're targeting stripers first. So using my standby Category 5 suicide croakers. This is the curly tail version of the suicide croaker. We're going to start out with that. We've got rising tide, going to hit some grass banks and some structure, and I've got the trout eye jig heads that are weedless. They work really good downtown, keeping you from getting snagged up and breaking off a lot of lures. So we're going to get started and see what we can find down here. Yeah, here on the Cape Fear, we're in early April, which is a month that these fish will start transitioning upriver to spawn. So we don't have as many numbers as we've had down here all winter grouped up in certain areas of the river. And what they'll do in the wintertime is they'll be probably 80% of the population of our stripers below the dams are usually in about a 1 mile stretch of river. And once you locate them, you can usually have good success going back on different tides in that same area and finding fish. But now the fish are starting to move up river, and we do have a lot of fish that do stay down river throughout this spawn. A lot of the stock fish and some of the smaller fish will stay down river, and you can catch fish pretty much all year round down river, but they are starting to thin out a little bit in some of the areas they've been holding this winter and starting to move up upriver. And usually a telltale sign for that is when the shad run starts, the stripers are usually right behind them. They eat a lot of these shad, and it's that time of year when they start moving upriver as well to spawn, because shad move upriver to spawn, and so do stripers. They're both andromenous fish. They live in salt and fresh water. They live in salt water and they go up into fresh water to spawn. So, you know, the Cape Fear River has a moratorium. That's one thing I do want to tell everybody, is you cannot keep any fish on the Cape Fear or any of its tributaries, stripers. So make sure you throw all the stripers back. You know, we're catching stripers today, hopefully, and you know, I just want to let everybody know you cannot keep any stripers on the Cape Fear River. You can keep fish, but you can't keep stripers due to a moratorium on the river. And that's good, guys, because what they're trying to do is create a fishery that was here before the lock and dams were here, back in the early 1900s and before. And these fish could get all the way upriver, up past Fayetteville, where the water starts to get a little more rocky between there and Sanford, and shallower, so the eggs have a better chance of making it in those conditions, as opposed to this silty area right below the lock and dams now. It's really silty, and the eggs will actually get suffocated in the mud and the silt below these lock and dams. So they've already put a rocks up on lock and dam number 1 and made it where the fish can get up river, but lock and dam number 2 and 3 are yet to have any kind of, they have fish ladders, but they don't have that rock bed and an area where these fish can get up river past lock and dam number 1, other than locking them through the locks. But either way, that's what we have here on the Cape Fear River, and this is just a late season striper bite we're trying to get in on today. That's what a striper looks like. Not a very big one. It's a striper. Get a color on there. Now he's lit up. Those blue fins. Kind of like a redfish. Pretty little guy. There we go. Alright. The tide's about to turn. Been working these banks and structure areas and hadn't really come up with anything today. A couple bumps here and there, and finally stuck a small striper. So let's see if we can't get some more fish. Maybe it's about to turn on for us. A little bit better than last time. Last fish was only about 1.5 pounds. Maybe if I stuck it close to the camera, 2 pounds. It's a little bit better fish. Hit that electric tadpole, category 5. Not bad fish. Use the net on that one. Good striker. Got full body electric tadpole, category 5. Look how fat that striper is. Now that's a good fish. About a 7-pound fish, short and fat. Got him on that weedless iStrike fishing jig head. Kept me from getting hung up. Pretty fish right there. That's more like it. Yeah, he's about 6.5 pounds. We put him on the Boga Grip, and really nice fat fish, real healthy fish. He's full of bait fish. So let's get him back in the water and release him. Get him revived. Water's pretty cool. Oh! There he goes. There he goes. That was a good fish. Now hopefully we can get a couple more like that. The tide's about to turn, and we've caught 2 fish in the past 20 minutes. Hopefully when this tide turns we can get on a few more good fish just like we just got on there with that category 5 suicide croaker with the curly tail. That was the ticket on that one, on that weedless iStrike jig head. You know, I love red fishing. That's what I'm known for, is traveling all over fishing these tournaments, and also sight fishing and top water fishing for reds. But these stripers will hit about the same things, and you can also get them on top water throughout the year when they're feeding on when the bait's, you know, on top, and some of these mullets and pogies are moving around in the warmer weather months, and even throughout the winter. I've caught them January, February, and March as well. But they're a lot of fun, and it's a good change of pace after chasing reds on the flats. These fish, when they're turned on, will hit a bait that's moving pretty fast. You don't have to talk them into eating. They usually go on a bait or lure of just about any type that you can imagine, from swim baits like this category 5 soft plastic, to a rattle trap or crankbait, to a deep diving lure. A lot of guys get them trolling, to a topwater lure, and everything in between. Caught them on plastic worms, small swim baits. So they're pretty aggressive fish if you can get in the right area and locate some fish. And today it's taken us all afternoon, but we're finally starting to dial in on a few areas that are holding some fish, and hopefully we can continue to catch a few more. Over the years, I've probably caught more stripers on pilings everywhere across the north of here than anything, man, and hardly do anything around pilings here. Like even that little fish we caught, he was way off of the pilings. He wasn't on the pilings. Well, we're just sitting here holding the bait in the water, and a striper comes up and hits the bait. unexpectedly missed the hook. Guess that shows sometimes they want it moving, sometimes they don't. Switch it up to a little Manic Minnow. Been using a bigger bait. Got 3 hits on that cast. Nailed that little category 5 Manic Minnow. 3 times. Pretty little guy. Hit that little category 5 Manic Minnow. Rigged on a weedless hook. Sometimes you got to get small. Sometimes that's what they're eating. And undoubtedly that's what he wanted. I'd hit that creek mouth probably 10 times with bigger baits. And he finally bit off on that smaller presentation. So that's fishing, man. Mix it up, mix your colors up, mix your sizes, mix your styles of baits up, and a lot of times that'll trigger a bite. All right, let's let this little guy go. Look at the pretty color. That tail and those fins. Blue, he's lit up. There he goes. All right, another Cape Fear River striper. Small fish, but fun nonetheless. Fish was right in the mouth of a creek, right where the still water hits the current. Another one right there. They're in there. I think he got my bait. Yeah. Gosh, had it in his mouth the whole time. There he is. Oh, it's a gar. No wonder it was acting funny. Now this is a creek bass. Cape Fear River gar. I knew something funny was going on. He went for that blade and got the line wrapped around in his snout. Not the target species, but interesting nonetheless. Now, if we get him to open his mouth, must not be a female. Let's see. I'm gonna get this bottom part. You can hold this up, that'll be. Get that out. Put it out this way. 1 second. A new species for category 5. Deadly on the gars. Yeah. Release him. Hey, little guy. There he is. Came back. He missed it twice. Ran into him. God, that's a good fish. Threw it back in there again once he got the boat positioned correctly, and he popped it again. All right, landed Cape Fear striper. Boy, that one fought good. He missed this thing twice on a previous cast. Almost ran into him. Had to go back and position the boat again, and he smacked it again. But pretty fish. Good 5.5 pound fish, real healthy. This water temperature is just now hitting the high 50s, low 60s, and these fish fight really well in that water temperature. So let's go ahead and get him back in the water and go catch another one. There he goes. All right, that was another good fish. Got a pretty day. Hopefully this wind will lay off long enough so we can get a couple more good fish. Billy, that was a heck of a fight that striper just put up on that last
Kicked your butt, didn't he?
fish we caught. Yeah, he kicked my butt.
That's a good fish. It sticks like this.
Yeah, short and fat.
Yeah.
Just typical Cape Fear striper. Trying to get me up in the lay down. Was able to pull it out with that Shimano Tranx reel. But I'll tell you what, man, it's been a heck of a day, and I'm ready to go back and do a little more fishing this afternoon.
I'm your cameraman. Let's go do it.
Hey, the tide's turning, and it's about to get right this afternoon.
Let's get on.
All right. Tell you what, I got a new reel that I've been trying out the last couple weeks. It's a Shimano Tranx, and this model is the 300, and it's got 22 pounds of drag. It's compact. It's a little bit heavier than your normal Curado or low profile Shimano reel, but man, it has got some brakes on it. I was able to sight fish with it down in the Elite Series Classic last week, and man, you talk about whipping some fish. I was putting 27-inch fish in the boat within like 8 seconds of hooking them. Whipping them in the boat with this St. Croix Mojo heavy power 7/4 foot casting rod. So this is an excellent combo for stripers. You can cast this combo a mile even with 50-pound test braid on it. You'll get a lot of tackle back with 50-pound test braid with no leader. But so far, man, I've been really impressed with the Shimano reel. And I used to use bait casters a lot, but the last 10 years I had some carpal tunnel issues with my forearm from using bait casters growing up, and using heavier bait casters for top water plugs and that sort of thing pretty much all my life. So my arm has finally recovered, and man, I'm loving throwing this Shimano Tranx again. I'm actually going to get a couple more of these in the future. Billy, it's been a good day of fishing on the Cape Fear River, and now we're at River Bluffs. We're at Porches Cafe, and they have some good sandwiches here, and I'm looking forward to eating here today. So take a break from the water.
Shore lunch, good day.
Hey man.
Take a break from fishing. It's convenient to get the dock and the boat halfway. Here's what, half a mile.
Yeah. You know, one thing I like about this place is not only is it a pretty neighborhood, but food here is good. We've got this nice marina that just built on the Northeast Cape Fear River, and the fishing is excellent within sight of.
We caught a fish within sight of the pier.
Exactly.
Nice striper.
Caught 3 of them yesterday within sight of the marina. Just a good place to fish, a good place to come and hang out, eat lunch. Just beautiful background here, and you know the amenities in this neighborhood, man, are just. It's like everything you could ask for.
When are you going to buy one?
When are you going to give me a loan?
That's a great place to visit, man. Great place to take a break from the river.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So guys, if you hadn't tried it yet, come over at Porches Cafe and River Bluffs Plantation. You won't be disappointed. The fishing's good here. You decide to buy a house or buy a lot here and build a house. We got a lot of amenities, got something for everyone. The nature here is beautiful. It's just fully grown trees. The landscape is beautiful, and the the river is really pretty
Oh,
in this area of the river. You know, you got that tannic water. It's not the silty Cape Fear water.
you got freshwater fish, it's all water fish.
Yeah, catfish, stripers, largemouth bass. I mean, you can probably catch them right off the dock. I have in years past. So, if you guys hadn't checked it out, come check it out. Largemouth. Yep. Right here at River Camps. Nice bass. Cape Fear River bass. Pretty little guy. Well, just shows we got two different kind of bass here in the Cape Fear River. It's a brackish water fishery above Wilmington, North Carolina. And we'll catch largemouth along with stripers a lot of times. And here's a good example of it. They'll hit the same baits. Nice Cape Fear striper. Whew. Just did get him in the net. He popped right out. Ah, come here. Nice fish. Hadn't caught many. I'll tell you what, man, they're fun to catch. Typical day on the Cape Fear River. You don't know if you're going to catch 0, 1, 4, 14, or 20. But that's a good striper. Best fish of the day on the last cast of the day. That's how you like to end your fishing trip. Got cut short on time due to a couple things got to get done on land, but another pretty Cape Fear striper. It's been windy today, conditions haven't been ideal, but still able to stick a few fish, largemouth and stripers. So it's been a good day. Let's let this nice striper go. It's best just to Move them side to side by the tail until they get ready. Pulling them back against the gills actually suffocates them. Pushing them forward will get oxygen in their gills, but as soon as they kick out, they're ready to go. As cool as this water is, it doesn't take long. Here it goes. All right, that's gonna wrap it up today. Caught some nice stripers, had a shore lunch at Porches Cafe in River Bluffs, and now we are heading home. It's been a good day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.